Okay, so I've, as you can see, I sewed these reinforcements in with thread, literally into the original remnants of the sort of raised bands, with additional sewing in of the two gatherings that were loose. Put a little bit of glue, to each segment as I sort of sewed them together, and then slathered the whole sort of rear of the spine here in glue. So that's now going to set in place. I'm going to, just while the glue still has a bit of wetness, I'm going to throw on this bit of fabric and glue that in place as well. Poke some holes for these things to sort of come through. I did give serious thought to whether there would be a case for putting some additional bands in along the original locations of the tail band, the sort of mid band here, and the head band, and literally sew that in to the sheet. I could reach a conclusion. I think that it's overkill. I think this will be sufficient as it is, especially considering that the once the fabric and the glue sets, that'll really sort of become quite strong here at the back. So, and the other thing to bear in mind is these bands now create a gap. When this text block sits in here, I mean, previously it was just sitting sort of flush against the spine here, but now there's going to be a little gap that's created by this thread, which, is fine. I don't want to sort of make that larger than it kind of has to be. So I think we're going to be in a good place. So the next step is put this cloth on, lots more glue, let it settle overnight, and then once we have a sort of a finished text block that you can open and close and it doesn't sort of show any stress, we'll be able to move on to the looking at the binding itself. All right, so slathering is complete. I've just been making sure that this fabric is really bedded down. There we go, like that. Yeah. So, got high hopes for this. So we'll leave it to rest. This is going to take, overnight to really sort of set hard, because there's a lot of glue sort of soaking into the text block as well. And then we'll have a look tomorrow and we'll gauge how we finish this. Okay, so this is now set really hard, and there we go. It's a nice, tight, robust text block. So while this was drying, I took the opportunity to just use my sort of dental tools here just to get in and fish out the strands of hemp that were located in sort of 4 locations here on each side, and sort of got them here. It's quite interesting looking at them. What's interesting is they're quite small. So, for example, by comparison, I mean, each of these strands has 3 sort of major threads in it, and they're about the same size, which means this text block, which is pretty heavy, and that's a good kilogram of weight, if not more there, was attached to these boards by the equivalent of 4 of these strands. So you kind of end up thinking, well, yeah, I mean, that really wasn't going to last. So, but it also gives me some comfort that the fact we're going to have 12 of these each side, together with, you know, a little bit of support from the fabric as well, you know, it gives me a lot of comfort that I think when we do actually do this reattachment, we're going to be in a pretty good position. I think the result's going to be quite robust. So how I'm going to do this, there's going to be a need to glue down the fabric as well as these, and I'm going to have to separate these out. I think I'm going to have to develop an approach that actually goes between these sheets. So I think that's probably going to be the next video. So I think for now, we're in a good place. It all worked. And so on to the next, which is threading these strings and this fabric into this board.